The barbell back squat is one of the most important exercises that you can learn for targeting your legs. This compound exercise will work your entire body, but the prime movers are namely your quadriceps and your legs, as well as your glutes, and your hamstrings and calves will work as well. Let's talk about how to set up for the barbell back squat, and also how to do the two main variations of the back squat, which are the high bar squat and the low bar squat. When you are setting up for your squats, high bar squats or low bar squats, you want to set the J hooks onto your squat rack at a level like a little bit lower than your shoulders, because in order to get the weight up off the J hooks, you're going to want to like bend your knees a little bit and then stand up and then be able to walk back and forth. So if it's too high, then you're going to have to like go on your tippy toes, right? What we ideally want is for you to have to have like a little bit of a squat going to get the bar when you're going to get the bar. Okay, so set the J hooks to a little bit lower than your shoulders, okay? And then place your barbell up on top, and that's our setup. With high bar, we want the bar resting on our traps, the trapezius muscles right here. We don't want it resting on our bone of our neck. So what we want to be able to do to hold the bar is like squeeze our back, right? So that we're making a nice little cushion with those muscles, and that's where it's gonna sit, okay? So you're gonna take your hands, you can think about like putting your pinkies on the inner rings here, okay? Step underneath the bar, let the bar rest right on your on your traps, okay? And then you're going to bring your hips under the bar with your knees bent, okay? So we don't have our hips out here, hips are under the bar. Squeeze the bar, squeeze your back, stand up with your hips staying right underneath your shoulders. Now your knees are under your hips, and then you step back. We're gonna step back 1, 2, and then just fix your stance. So it's just a minimal amount of stepping around, okay? And then we perform our squat, which is, at this point you should know, knees bend, hips bend at the same time, come down to parallel or a little bit below parallel if you practice powerlifting, and then come back up. That's 1 rep, okay? And don't forget to use your bracing breath. We inhale at the top, we hold the breath in our bellies, go down, come back up, exhale, inhale. And then to step back, walk all the way forward until the bar hits the rack, okay? We're not turning our head to see where the J hooks are. Just walk straight forward. Keep your eyes forward, and then bend your knees, and then come back out from the bar, okay? So that's how we do our high bar back squat, okay? For low bar, you're gonna have the bar resting on those low delts. So you're gonna come a little bit further up underneath the bar and kind of flare your elbows back. Same thing, you wanna bring your hips right underneath the bar here, knees bent, stand up, step back, okay? And then you're ready for your squat. We wanna practice our bracing breath, okay? So inhale, hold the air in your belly, squeeze your abs, go down, back up, exhale at the top, inhale, brace again. And then step back all the way forward to the rack until the bar hits the back of the rack, and then you bend your knees to lower down, and then come back out, okay? I don't like low bar. It feels so uncomfortable to me. But a lot of people say that low bar squat allows them to squat heavier. So a lot of competitive powerlifters prefer to compete with low bar back squat. They both work. You'll see powerlifters competing with low bar and with high bar at competitions. They both exist. A lot of times people prefer high bar if they have mobility issues with their shoulder. If you have like an internally rotated tendency with your shoulders, high bar is gonna not aggravate that quite as much. And I definitely, even just showing it just now, can feel it. So that's that for like technique-wise, introduction to the technique of doing this. Now, when you are going to practice your squats, high bar or low bar, as with any of your big lifts, you always want to start your practice session with some kind of cardiovascular warm-up, some priming exercises to fire up your major muscle groups that you're going to be working during that lift. And then you want to do some warm-up sets, okay? So always do a warm-up set with just the bar by itself, even if you squat 400, 500 pounds. It's always best practices to start your practice session with just the bar, just to kind of remind your body, okay, these are the mechanics, this is what we're doing. And then start to add on weight to the bar gradually, working your way up. Do a couple of warm-up sets, do a couple of heavy warm-up sets leading up to whatever your top set is or whatever your challenge weight is for that day. You want to just like do that gradually. Some people say like add 20% at a time. So maybe to like take whatever your challenge weight is, whatever you're going to be lifting for that day, like add 50% of that onto the bar so that you're lifting 50% of what your challenge weight is. And then, do a couple of reps. You don't want to fatigue yourself during your warm-up sets. You're just trying to connect with your muscles and remind them how to do the thing. So you just do a couple of sets just to remind your body of how to do the thing, and then gradually add on 20% or so at a time until you're up at your challenge weight. But listen to your body. Sometimes you might need another set at like the same weight before graduating up to the next weight. Listen to your body as you're doing your warm-up.